Welcome to Station 2. Today we will be moving from standard form where we have our x and our y value on the same side of our equal sign with a constant on the other side, and we will be moving it into slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So essentially we will be solving for y. Number 1. First thing I do is I circle what I'm solving for and draw my line down the equal sign. How do I get rid of a positive x? I subtract x from both sides. X minus x is 0. I'm left with y equals 7 minus x. Y is officially by itself, so we are done. Number 2 is a bit more intense, so we're going to write out our steps to number 2. Step 1 involves circle what you're solving for. So I'm circling y and split at equal sign. So step 1 is in purple. I'm circling my y and splitting at the equal sign. Step 2 is going to be in red. We are going to subtract the x term. So my x term is a positive 8x, so to move it to the other side, I subtract 8x from both sides. This zeros, and I have 7y equals. You'll notice on this side, my 56 and my 8x will never combine. That 56 will not have an x, and the other one always will. So they are just the way you see them. Step 3, multiply or divide to remove y's coefficient. So, again, right back to circling what you're solving for. That alone should cue you in that it's a multiply or divide move. Since it's 7 times y, I'm going to divide by 7 and divide by 7. Y equals negative 56 divided by 7 is a negative 8. And remember, our slope we will always leave in the form of a fraction. So this negative 8 divided by 7 is going to remain just that, negative 8 divided by 7 with the x tacked on to the end. And I'm officially done. So we're going to try it without writing the steps this time. Start by circling what we're solving for, splitting at the equal. I need to take this x to the other side, which means I need to subtract an x from both sides. That cancels, and I'm left with 2y equals 2 minus x. As a reminder, these will never mix. Circling here, how do I undo it 2 times y? I divide by 2. So y equals 2 divided by 2 is a 1. Now, remember, there is a understood 1 located right here. We don't write the 1, but there is an understood 1 there. So a negative and a positive make that negative, and I'm left with 1 over 2x. And I'm done. Y is by itself, and it's positive. Do the same thing here. Circle what I'm solving for, split at the equal. Subtract the x from both sides. That's 0. I got negative y equals negative 1 minus x. Now, I cannot leave y negative. Y cannot be negative. So, how do I undo a negative 1 times y? Well, I divide by negative 1. Divide by negative 1. So, y equals negative 1 divided by negative 1. It's a positive 1. And negative 1 divided by negative 1 is a positive 1x. Can you put in the little 1 here? You can. It's not necessary, but you can. every single time I begin by circling what I'm solving for. It helps remind me what is going to add and subtract and what's going to multiply or divide. So my positive 4x, I'm going to subtract to get it to the other side. So I'm going to minus 4x. Minus 4x. Once I do that, I have negative 7y left. And on this side, negative 42 minus 4x. Right back to circling what I'm solving for. I know it's a negative 7 on the inside, and it makes you think you need to add 7, but it's not, because the operation on y is multiply. And how do we undo multiply? By dividing. So divide by negative 7, divide by negative 7. Y equals negative 42 divided by negative 7. Negative divided by a negative makes a positive, and 42 divided by 7 is 6. Again, a negative and a negative make a positive, and we leave the x term as a fraction. You do not need to turn it into a mixed number, into a decimal, and any of that sort, because we have no idea how to graph those. And that is all for you. You have until the remainder of the time to go off to finish the next couple. Please be sure that you've written your notes.